This is Stocks to Watch as we get some critical insights on Rua Gold today, an exploration company strategically focused on New Zealand, with their stock running up as much as 50% this month, trading on the TSXV under RUA, the OTC under NZAUF. We are privileged to be joined by Robert Eckford, the CEO. First and foremost, welcome, sir.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
Yeah, such a pleasure to get you on. And I just want to dive into this because you control a very large land package in Reefton Goldfield. It's around 120,000 hectares of tenements in a historically high grade district. For our newer audiences, maybe give us a refresher on the project, its potential, and key milestones you've kind of accomplished so far.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Yeah, totally. I mean, to be honest, we're quite a new story into the market. And I say new, we listed this company last year, March, but we've been private since 2019. And we started accumulating land back in New Zealand then. And we found some really nice strategic positions, past production, really high grade gold. And so we've been at this for a while. We listed last March with a little 20 million market cap. We're pushing up to 80 million market cap now. And through this process, we've actually started with about a third of the Reefton district under our control, around 30,000 hectares. We're now up to 120,000 hectares through some newly available acreage that was granted to us through some clever M&A to take over the district. We now have a district scale land package, which I know is a very cliche thing to say for an exploring company, but this is literally a gold belt that produced 2 million ounces, and we control 7 of the 8 historic mines that are operating across this area. So we do have a very formidable land package here.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the insight there. And you're actively advancing your exploration program at the Auld Creek Target in the Reefton Goldfield. Maybe tell us more about the target and what your drill intercepts indicate so far.
Yeah, Auld Creek is an interesting one because, as I said, this is a historic area. So there was the old timers that came along and they mined 2 million ounces of grades up to 50 grams a ton. Auld Creek was actually had very limited work ever done on it, because what the old timers would do, they'd walk up a hill, they'd find these outcropping beautiful quartz veins with gold in them, and they'd just start following the vein. Auld Creek is a gold antimony rich system. So the old timers didn't have any interest in antimony back in the early 1900s. Antimony is in a different world right now, and the price has shot up over the last couple of years from 10,000 a ton to 60,000 a ton. It's a really hot commodity. Everyone's looking to get hold of it. And Auld Creek has never been touched because of the antimony has never been in focus until the last sort of 24 months since this whole critical minerals war has really kicked off. And so we're onto a system at Auld Creek that starts from surface, is really high grade gold and antimony. We're talking multiple sort of gram intercepts of over 100. And we're just at the beginning. We've kicked off an exploration program. We've got 100,000 ounces at the start of the year. We've set a target out publicly that we're going to triple that by the end of the year. And we're a team that executes on what we're going to say we're going to do. And so we've said we're going to triple it. You can guarantee that we'll have that done by the end of the year, if not exceeding it. So a really good from surface, high grade gold antimony deposit. And in an area of New Zealand where there's active mines, there's active mining, there's a whole mining community, and a government that really wants more regional development and mines to kick off.
Yeah, and speaking to that, kind of looking forward, you're also planning approximately that 4,000 meters of additional diamond drilling at the Auld Creek over the coming months. I mean, what targets will you be focusing on, and what is the tentative timeline for this work?
Sure, yeah. I mean, the little 110,000 ounces that we've got already proven up as a 43-101 resource right now sits across about 150 meters on surface and 100 meters at depth. And we've already, from our drilling, we've stepped out a further 300 meters north of that. And we've continued to see the mineralization just continues along. I mean, the surface anomaly from the geochem we've done is 2.5 kilometers. So right now the resource sits, and by the end of the year, will sit across about 500 meters. And we've also extended it at depth. It went down 100 meters. We've drilled down a further 150 meters, and it continues on at depth. And so we're expanding, we're stepping out, we're building that resource, and we're growing that shell because we want to move this into a good resource by the end of the year. We want to do a 43-101 resource refresh to then go into the permitting process. So we're taking a bit of a different approach to some of the classical explorers. We're going actually into the development category. Our Rua Gold team, the group behind this, we're company builders. We're not going to sit here as explorationists and drill out for 5 years. we're going to prove up 500,000 to 1,000,000 ounces. We're going to permit it because New Zealand's permitting mines in 6 months. It's the quickest permitting regime in the world. And we're going to take advantage of that. And we're going to move into production and get cash flowing in this current bull cycle of both gold and antimony.
Yeah, absolutely. And going from boots on the ground, you recently announced the appointment of Simon Delander as Vice President, Risk Stakeholder and Regulatory Affairs to lead permitting and regulatory engagements for your flagship Reefton Goldfield project, as well as Amit Durso as Vice President of Exploration. Maybe tell us a bit about their expertise, their track records, and why they're a great fit for your team.
Yeah, I mean, starting with Emmett, he's a huge benefit to us. He comes in as our VP exploration, and it's twofold. He comes out of Australia in the Victoria, Bendigo, Ballarat region, and that region of Australia is known for Fosterville Mine. It's known for Southern Cross Gold. These really high grade orogenic gold antimony systems, the exact same systems that we have here in Reefton. So age of rock mineralization style. He knows these veins. He's looked at them in Victoria. Now we're leveraging that expertise, and he's moving over to Reefton and helping us here. So he's on site with me now here. He's been about a month in the job, and he's got some amazing, great, fresh ideas to bring to the team. So really excited to have some of his perspective coming into it. And then Simon Delander is a huge asset for the company. He comes out of our neighboring mines. So I said we control 95% of the Reefton district, 7 of the 8 historic mines. That 8th historic project that we don't own is actually in a private Australian company's hands, who's raised 400 million, who's fully permitted, and who's going to be producing gold next year. And so we have 7/8 of it, and the eighth eight, or the final eighth, is controlled by a company going into production next year. And Simon Delander was the key guy that actually got that permitted, that worked with the community, that moved that project forward to be able to have first gold pour next year. So we're going to leverage his 5 years of experience of going through that process with a company called Endura or Federation Mining. And he's now going to help Rua with all of his relationships he's already got, with all of his knowledge he's already got from that New Zealand process, and really give us a chance to go on the front foot of moving through that permitting process.
Yeah, and just finally here, as you mentioned, we're kind of living through this precious metal renaissance. Why should investors who are still considering their options be as excited as you are about this property and maybe about investing in Rue Gold?
Yeah, I think there's not many opportunities. I mean, the gold exploration space is saturated. I mean, you've got no shortage of explorers to choose from. There's not many that can say you've got a track record team that have built companies that have gone from exploration through to development, through to multi-asset companies, and eventually sold for over billions of dollars. We've done that multiple times as a group. And so we're at the ground floor now. We're just kicking off. We've already sort of de-risk the project because Auld Creek is proven continuous, and the resource keeps expanding. And so you've got an exploration play that we know we're going to find more gold and antimony. You've got a government that really wants us to do it, and they're changing legislation so we can permit quicker and get things done. And you've got the actual team that's done it before. So it's sort of the trifecta in terms of what you're looking for from an investment point of view. And importantly, we're sitting with 11 million Canadian in the bank, and we've got a number of catalysts coming to the market between now and even needing to go back to the market to raise any more powder.
No, incredible. And I appreciate your time today as we pass it off to the viewers. As always, we'd love to know what you think in that comment section. We'll leave all the links if you want to explore further in the description below, and consider subscribing as news and catalysts come down the wire. Of course, we'll bring it to you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Thanks, Kyle.